Hi, I'm back. I wanted to give you an update because I was going to do a video yesterday, but I had a really crappy day. And my truck ended up in the shop. But the good news that came out of that is my batteries were real hot. And like the guy said, the two in the back were swollen and the two in the front were too hot already and heating up, but they all tested okay. Thankfully, the lovely guys at my shop and the company said just replace them all. So they replaced them all, and I also had a bad brake chamber, so got that taken care of. And anyway, I asked the guy if he could replace the fuse on my battery connection between the inverter and the battery box, and he was gonna do it, but we decided to go ahead and test the inverter. So I was like, okay, we test the inverter real quick. And so I'm like searching around trying to find something that I don't care if that I can plug in, that I don't care if it blows up. And I was like, my blow dryer. So I grabbed my blow dryer and I turned it on. It was like, oh yes, it works. Oh my god, I'm so happy. So hopefully it was the batteries, but this inverter didn't blow up entirely. The one before it actually it fried. So this is my fingers. So that works. I didn't make a cup of coffee this morning. I went and got in the shower. I had to come to Temple, Georgia, because the load that I had last night was due before I could get it there. So they sent a team with a load to drop off for me, and when we were going to take mine and try to get it there earlier. So, gosh. So now I'm going to complain about Uncle Sam and hours of service. So I know this is confusing for a lot of people who who haven't been to school and they haven't been taught. So I'm going to give you the scenario, and you tell me whether or not Uncle Sam is trying to keep us all safe. So the load that the team brought for me, they got here and they dropped the trailer, and I dropped my trailer, and the load that they brought me is due tomorrow morning at 3 a.m. Okay, so it's going to take, in tractor trailer time, or total trip time, that's trucker math, it says it's going to take me about 9.6 hours to get there, okay? Alright, so it's only going to take 9.6 hours to get there, and I'm allowed to drive 11 hours in a day. Okay, well here's the thing. I got here and went to sleep probably about 10 o'clock last night. I got up at 7 o'clock, got my shower, got some coffee. The people dropped the load here at about 10 a.m. Okay, so it is now 20 after 3, and I'm still at the truck stop. The reason I'm still at the truck stop is because this delivery is due at 3. Uncle Sam says when you start working during the day, if you start working at the beginning of your day, that starts a clock. The clock goes 14 hours. So once I start working, doing anything, I have 14 hours left. Okay, so it takes me 9 and a half, 10 hours to get there. I have to do that within that 14-hour window. So, here's the conundrum. I got up at about 7. My delivery's due at 3. Now, the thing is, once I get to the delivery, I have to wait for them to unload, and then I have to find a place to stay. This delivery is going to Orlando. The closest truck stop that I could find that's going to be decent and on my, even relatively on my way to my next delivery is like an hour away from my consignee, the place I'm delivering to. So, okay, so if we do the math and I have to be there at 3, I'm going to leave here at about 4:30. Now, what I would have preferred to do is leave at 10 when they drop that trailer off for me and drive, you know, halfway there, maybe take a nap or something, and then continue my drive. But Uncle Sam says you can't do that. So if I had left at 10, there's no way I would have been able to get there in that allotted time. And, or leave. So I have to make sure that I have time to get there and I have time to leave, because you're not allowed to park there. So I'm pissed right now because okay, so I got my little lawn chair, I sat outside, I put my shorts on, I sat outside, trying to sun myself. I went and got a big lunch at the taco joint across the street. All these things, I'm trying to make myself tired so I can take a nap before I have to leave. Well, I'm not tired. I've spent the last 2 hours trying to go to sleep, and I can't. So here's the deal. I'm getting ready to leave in an hour, and I am going to drive at least until 3 a.m. and then maybe I can take a nap. I don't know how long they're going to take to unload me. If they only take 2 hours, then I should be good to drive the hour to the truck stop. If they take 3 or 4 hours, which sometimes that happens, I may not even be able to leave. They might, like, have to call the police on me. I don't know. I've never done that before, so it's going to be exciting. But, okay, so Uncle Sam says that they're keeping everybody safe because they make you take a 10-hour break in between shifts, and you can only work in a 14-hour window every day. So it's going to be really safe, that 14-hour window, for me and for everybody else who's got a delivery that they could clearly make and could clearly leave early for. But no, I've got to wait until later in the afternoon when I'm not tired, and then drive all night and see how tired I am after that. It makes a whole lot of sense, doesn't it? Anyway, so I'm ranting. Okay, 8 minutes. So, I threw this video up here. Like I said, it's like 3:30 in the afternoon. There's probably not going to be very much excitement, but I figured maybe somebody might back up or something. Well, because everybody on the forums complains about, oh, stupid YouTube people, all they do is sit in the seat and talk about stuff, and that's boring. So I'm trying to make it more exciting. Here comes somebody. Yeah, okay, so the inverter works for now. I'm really not looking forward to this drive right now. And the place I'm going to says, do not arrive any earlier than 40 minutes early, or you will be turned away. There's no parking. Awesome. And Orlando's like covered in Walmarts that you can't park at, and no truck stops, so maybe I can work on my, well, I don't know, whatever. I'm trying to even out this tan, because I know nobody notices at all but me, and it's, I don't know, I just feel lopsided. But yeah, I had a really crappy day yesterday, Every single person I met was just totally awesome, totally laid back and cool. But man, I just felt like I was getting crapped on all day. And it got to the point where, you know, I'm sitting at a truck stop and I'm trying to take care of the crap that happened earlier that day. And I'm just going, okay, it's all downhill from here. It can't get any worse, right? And then I go to leave the truck stop where I had fueled, and I engage my brakes, and air is coming out from the knobs, and it's real loud, and I get out, and I'm like, oh, man, I'm trying to check the lines and see what's going on. Then I can hear something like right by the tractor, by the drive tires, and I'm just like, okay, I don't know. So thankfully I was there at the truck stop, and they were able to look at it, and those guys were so awesome. And it was my brake chamber, so I have a shiny new brake chamber on my tractor, and my inverter works. And then this morning I was talking to a lady who's trying to speak with truckers about illegal services, and she stopped me and she was like, "Are you a truck driver, man? You know, truck driver?" I said, "Yeah." She's like, "I'm not trying to say it. Truck drivers are, you know, what?" I was like, no, whatever. And she was like, "You know what? Well, how is it?" Or I don't know. Anyway, she was totally cool, and I was talking to her about. I was like, "Well, you know, the guys were really nice. I mean, they're very respectful and everything." Well, she said, "You know why? It's because you walk with authority and you have confidence, and they know they can't F with you, and I can see you got confidence." And I was just like, that's awesome. That was really cool. Anyway, yeah, people